Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Undersecretary Torres-Small, for being here and for your testimony today. I appreciate you sharing your ideas, your insight, and for representing the Biden administration for today's hearing on something that we can all get behind, which is supporting our rural communities and rural America. I will have to say I have been hoping, just as the ranking member has been hoping, to have Secretary Vilsack join us here in the Senate Agriculture Committee in person. And I continue to ask him to finally come before us to answer some of our questions. So we do hope to have that very soon. But I do appreciate you being here today, Undersecretary. Thank you for your testimony. Today on National Ag Day, we have heard a lot about the importance of our rural communities. It's something that absolutely is very near and dear to me. And as some of you may know, I grew up on our family farm in southwest Iowa, not far from where I still live today in Montgomery County. I know firsthand the hard work of our farmers and our farm families, what they put in and day out to make their living and to provide the food and critical goods for our state, our country, and the whole planet. So there's no question that supporting our rural communities is a top priority for me. Today, we have heard a lot about how this administration wants to work to support those communities. And I want to believe that the Biden administration does want to support rural America. And I know that Iowa farmers want to believe that too. But the unfortunate reality is that after a year in office, President Biden's track record, along with the agenda and the specific plans he is proposing, are telling a very different story. First, let's look at the president's track record after more than 14 months at the helm. Heading into the 2020 election, the president talked a really big game in Iowa and throughout the Midwest when it comes to standing up for biofuels. While he was out in Iowa talking to farmers on the campaign trail, he would say, for instance, quote, "A Biden-Harris administration will promote and advance renewable energy, ethanol, and other biofuels to help rural America and our nation's farmers," end quote. And Iowans believed him. Then this past December, after failing to meet the November 30th deadline as required by law, President Biden took action to reopen the finalized 2020 RVO rule and propose 2021 and 2022 volume obligations that strip out billions of gallons of biofuel demand. The decision was an about-face by a president who campaigned on his supposed support for renewable fuels. The reality is that these RVOs will slash demand for biofuel and will have devastating, long-lasting consequences for Iowa farmers and producers. In their rush to appease coastal elites and promote electric vehicles in the name of green energy, the Biden administration is snubbing biofuel, a readily available energy solution that deserves full consideration. Then there's the president's record on free trade and free trade deals, something that is critical for our farmers. At first, the Biden administration announced they would be putting domestic policy ahead of considering negotiations on new free trade agreements. But we need action now. And unfortunately, the president has shown a reluctance to forcefully engage on free trade. In fact, right now, a critical trade position is being left vacant by the president. After more than a year in office, the administration has yet to fill the position for the USDA's Undersecretary for Trade and Foreign Agricultural Affairs. And this has been mentioned already this morning. It's a position that is critical for American farmers and producers so we can build and maintain strong relationships with our trading partners around the globe. Then just last week, the administration withdrew their nominee for the USTR's chief agriculture negotiator, a position Iowa farmers and producers have been waiting over 6 months to get confirmed. At the same time, the president has been insistent on returning farmers to the harmful overregulation of the Obama era, specifically with an overregulation of the Obama era known as Waters of the U.S. or the WOTUS rule. They are working to renew that. So as you can see, the administration's record for rural America has been less than stellar, to say the least. I know my time is expiring. I have many, many more examples of where the president has taken a full-on assault of rural America. I'm glad that we are discussing how we can be supportive, but there were a lot of promises made by this president. He has yet to live up to them. And with that, Madam Chair, I yield back.